All right, so let's jump right into taking the 6.0 apart. I guess we'll pull the intake, pull the coils, manifolds. I guess we'll start with them because those are usually a huge pain in the ass. Usually, the bolts snap. I should probably heat them, but man, do I not feel like it. Let me get some penetrating on. It's gonna come out. Usually these stupid things get stuck in here. And this one is no exception. I'm not using these knock sensors. If you're wondering, that's why I don't really care. It's getting melted. Not using this dipstick tube either. Just gotta get it at least out. So I can get it, the manifold off. Once you break it off, you can get in there with like a screw and pull it out of the block. It's no big deal, but I gotta get it out of here so I can get the manifold off. These have plugs in them because I know they said one of these bolts were broken because one came out shiny. So I guess this is the one that was snapped that they replaced, and they probably plugged that up when they were extracting it to not get anything in there. And that's the easiest these ever came off. I mean, obviously they were changed, but they got replacement Delco wires. They even put the grease on the plugs. So far, it looks like this thing was maintained pretty well. One broke. Yeah, it's really hit or miss with these. Sometimes they all come out, sometimes they snap. As for removing them, I just put a nut around it because once they snap, you can see there's a good bit sticking out. So I'll just stick a nut on there, weld it, and then the heat will pull it right out. But that's the only one we have broken, which isn't bad. All these look great. No deposits, anything like that. Same thing on this side. Everything was looking really, really clean. I mean, granted, these were probably swapped out because it did have newer plugs on it, newer plug wires. This intake, I think this is a Trailblazer SS intake. I'd love to use it on the Tahoe because it'll be a little bit of an upgrade. But the Tahoe has cathedral port heads. And I don't think, you know, actually, technically I think I can use my the adapters that go from square port to cathedral port that I have for the blower, and it'll bolt this intake onto the Tahoe. Is it gonna make any difference? I mean, I just have the stuff laying around, so I'm wondering if it's worth it. This is something I can use in the Tahoe because mine was cracked. So I'm gonna reuse rat's nest. These can go. Not gonna need these. Grab the rat's nest. They got everything plugged. I feel like something's gonna come out. All right. This is the cam sensor. I think this is the solenoid for the valve timing. This motor doesn't have DOD. The newer ones had it, or I think like different models may have had it. This only has VVT. If it was a DOD engine, it would have the valley cover with all the veins in it where you can see the oil flow and all that. But regardless, I'm still deleting the VVT. So obviously we're putting a different cam in this. Steam vent T. Another thing I'm probably not going to reuse, just because I have it on the 5.3, and the one with the 5.3 is a little better because the output is actually on this side, and that's where I have the T fitting in my upper hose. But I can still save this, probably for the Trans Am. Let's crack open this valve cover again. Look at the push rods. They look brand friggin' new. There's no staining, yellowing, nothing. All right. Head gasket doesn't want to give up. There's one of the dowels. All right. The other dowel is in the head. Not too bad. We got some crust. I pulled the head gasket off, but oh yeah. It's good to me. You can still see the cross hatching. As for what I'm doing with the bottom end, I'm not touching anything aside from the piston rings. So literally once it's all apart, I'm just gonna pop each piston out one at a time. We're gonna take the two upper rings, we're gonna widen the gap and literally put them right back on. I'm not even messing around with the dingleberry hone or anything. It has plenty of crosshatch on it. It was running 100% fine. So all I want to do is open up that gap, just throw them in and we'll let it go. Same thing for the bearings. I'm just gonna check the rod bearings while it's out, but they're all just gonna get lubed and put back on. Everything's gonna get torqued down. Boom, looks like piss. Head gaskets are sticky. Yep, same story as the other side. Still got some crosshatch. Everything looks good. We'll just open the rings up, pop it in. Last thing I'm gonna do is just pull the trays. We'll take a look at the lifters quick. Look at these trays. Brand friggin' new. Same thing, no surprises here. Everything looks great. I'll take you guys off the stand, give you a quick peek at the cam. See, the cam looks great, and just look at the walls. Absolutely no sludge. All right, last thing I'm gonna do is just pull the valley cover off. One more look here, just to show you exactly how clean this thing is. It's incredible. Timing chain, everything is absolutely immaculate. All right, we got the entire top end apart. Next video, we'll pull the oil pan, pull the rest of the accessories, motor mounts, AC bracket. We'll get the oil pan off, take off the windage tray, and maybe we'll start popping pistons out and gapping the rings. I'm actually running kind of late for work. Otherwise, I just would have tore the whole thing down and threw it all together in one video. But I know you guys are pretty excited to see this as I am, so I'm just going to put this one up, come back tomorrow, take the rest of it apart, and you'll see that video within a day or two. But for now, that's gonna do it for this one. See you in a few days.